guys. Give it up for Alice Levine as well. So good. Oh, man, this is the best. This feels like such a party. It feels like I've been invited to a party, finally, for once in my life. A party in a library. Guys, I'm excited to be here because it's like a late night show and I feel like you guys have had some drinks. And my show at the Fringe is at 3:30 in the afternoon. So people are very nice, but it's 3:30 in the afternoon. And basically, there's this story that I want to tell that I can't tell it in my show because it's 3:30 in the afternoon. So I don't tell it. And I want to tell you guys, are you up for that? Yeah! Okay, so basically, the context you need to know for this story is my parents, Wendy and James. Give it up for Wendy and James. They're the best. I hope they don't hear this, but they're very like liberal, open-minded people. And when I was growing up, they were like very open about sex and stuff, like just they were kind of hippies. Like my mom, even when I was very little, my mom used to say, you're gonna grow up and you'll meet a man or a woman and you'll fall in love and no matter what, it'll be amazing. Isn't that good? Yeah. So nice, right? Although in retrospect, I was probably doing press-ups, flexing my biceps, and she was like, we better give her some options, I think. But they were like really open, and my dad was really a hippie, and he was like naked a lot when I was very little. And so my dad has a very large penis. You have to go with me on this, guys. I promise you there's a point. I promise I'm going somewhere. My dad has I've always known that he has like a very large penis. I remember it from being a kid because he was kind of a nudist. And it's not just that I was very small, so proportionately it seemed big. I know now, like now I'm an adult, I've seen a handful of penises. Not a handful of penises. Not one handful, but like several individual ones over the course of my life. I know that it is like genuinely quite large, and my mom has confirmed it. My mom is always saying, your father has a gargantuan penis. Always saying that at dinner parties and stuff. And one time, basically, my dad, he was wearing like a bathrobe and it was open and he had nothing on underneath. And he would be very angry that I'm telling this story, but I think it's funny. He went out to the kitchen table and he sat down at the table and the robe was like open, and my brother, who was about 2 at the time, he toddled under the table and I know, you can see it coming, right? He took my father's penis in his hands and he bit the tip of my dad's penis. I'm so sorry, guys. As hard as he could, he bit it as hard as he could. And like, my dad bellowed. I mean, the noise that came out of him was inhuman. In one instinctive motion, he threw my brother across the room, just like, my brother hit the wall and just slid down like an insect, like and it was a very traumatic episode for my family, but the only good thing to come out of that story is like it's great fodder for me with my brother. Like I went out last time I was visiting Canada, I'm from Canada, and I went out for a drink with my brother. Oh, hey guys, do I know you? Do you know my family? I hope not. I went out for a drink with my brother and his friends, and I was like, we were just talking about stuff, and I said, it's weird how it seems more socially acceptable for girls to experiment with their sexuality these days than it is for guys. And I was like, I don't think it should be that way. And my brother's friend was like, I don't know, I made out with a guy in university. And my brother was like, oh, I've never done anything with a guy. And I was like, well, that's if you don't count Dad's massive dick. Guys, I told the story. That's so cathartic. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, and so my mom explained to me very young when I was very little, like, about sex, and she drew, I can't recover from that story. She drew diagrams and stuff of how it all worked, and she told me what an orgasm was when I was, like, really little, like I was maybe 6 or something, and I was too young to really conceptualize of it, and it's only now that I'm an adult that I look back and I'm like, why did she describe it in this very specific way? Like, it was steeped in imagery, kind of. And she said, she was like, when 2 people love each other and they're naked and they're hugging. And I was like, okay, so in my mind, I was 6, I'm like, they're naked, they must be in the shower. And I was like, yeah, so 2 people are hugging in the shower, go on. I'd be like, sure, fine. And she was like, and then they feel very happy, and they feel like increasingly happy. and they're hugging even tighter in the shower. And then all of a sudden, there's this moment of extreme happiness. And then she said, "Rainbows fill the sky." What a weirdly specific lie to tell. Imagine my disappointment. She didn't mention the loneliness you feel afterwards. Guys? Sometimes, even when I'm by myself, I fake it. They said it was a late night show. I don't know. Guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much. You've been great.